Okay, so today is February 25th, and I'm a little rusty in the team call department because I've taken the last month off. And the special guest on tonight's call is one of the people I credit for my being able to take the last month off. And I just kind of want to set the stage a little bit for tonight's call because this is a topic I feel like that isn't talked about enough in coaching. It's really easy to get focused on the tactical. How do we build our Instagram to grow our businesses? How do we find people that we can recruit to our teams? How do we build bigger businesses? But one of the things my mentor, Keith Callahan, who is our guest tonight, taught me is to become the person that achieves the goal instead of focusing so heavily on the goal. So what I mean by that is sometimes we'll say something like, I really want to achieve diamond. That's my next goal. And we focus solely on, okay, how many bubbles do we have to fill to achieve that rank? And how much volume do I need to make sure that that rank is active? Instead of becoming the person who would advance in their business. And that was something that Keith really taught me. And he's going to talk tonight. He just launched his book, which I know a lot of you are neck deep in and loving. There's been a lot of talk about build to last in our team page. But in reading the book, once it came, or before it came out, when Keith sent it to me, I felt like I was reliving the first few years of my journey as a coach, focusing so much on growing as a leader and becoming the person that you're born to be. And that was what Keith helped me to do in Beachbody through this platform. And it's been a completely priceless experience for me because his mentorship and the way that he guided me through this helped me to build a business that would last. Helped me to build a business that when we welcomed our third baby last month, that I could totally check out without any stress about my income, about this incredible team continuing to grow with or without me. And tonight we have him on the call to talk to us a little bit about all of that, like becoming a leader of leaders, really building a business for the long run, focusing less on the shiny things and more on things that like volume that will help you expand this business in a way that will continue to sustain and grow. So thanks for listening to me ramble for a minute here. I'm running on very little sleep these days, but I am so happy to welcome you onto our call, Keith. It's been a while since you've graced our team with your presence, and I know they're super pumped about tonight because I feel like this is a missing link for so many people, and I know that you're the guy to shed some light on, I don't know, the real depth of what is possible with this business. So unmute yourself.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're a little quiet.
Hold on. Hold on 1 second. So I'm quiet, huh?
Yeah, a little. Nothing. Like, can you guys hear him? We can definitely hear you. It's just not as not loud.
Give me 1 second.
Sure. Guys, make sure you, or I recommend you have notebooks out tonight because I think you'll appreciate having some pieces from this call in your own words on paper.
How about now?
I think that's better.
Am I soft?
No, that's good.
All right. Well, this is so cool. This is the first time that I have gotten to see Liz face to face since she's been a mother of 3. So cool. I actually call my wife Mother of Dragons now. Like that's what it's like in our house. All right. So I want to get going. I want to do an introduction, but before I do that, I have to apologize to you guys because So Liz did this introduction and she started talking about building to last. And for me, like, I want to be able to do, like, live the life that I want to live. So we bought all this land and we have maple trees, and we tapped 50 maple trees on our land. And like a week ago, we boiled down all this sap and we got 2 gallons of maple syrup. So I had the bright idea that I was going to do it. So I did it with a bunch of friends and we had a party, and it was really fun. This time we collected twice the amount of maple sap, which is what you make maple syrup from. And I was like, I'll just do it all myself today. So I literally, for the last 12 hours, just until like 7:30, was boiling down 100 gallons of maple sap. I don't know if you can see it, but my eyes are like super red because I've been all smoked out all day. My eyebrows are burnt. My eyelashes are burnt. So for some reason, this is what I want to do with my life. And I don't understand why, but I spent the day boiling down sap, and I'm kind of a little bit delirious right now. And I lost all my hair. So yeah, it's when I was getting ready for this call in the short time that I had to get ready for it, like, I feel like I was blessed to have good mentors in this business. And I feel like, I don't know, we just kind of built with blinders on, and we didn't really question things. And I always looked at myself as, I didn't feel like I measured up to a lot of the other leaders in Beachbody. And really for the first 5 years, I used to look at all these other people, and especially the men in Beachbody, and I would feel like they were so much more than I was. Their businesses were so much more than mine was. And I realized it wasn't necessarily true. And the thing, where I'm leading into with that, I had great mentorship, and I really just duplicated the mentorship that I had. And we continued to, like, we're all part of this big cog in the wheel, right? Like, it's not like, everything, all the blessings, all the miracles that came into my life were because my mentor spoke truth into my life and helped me to really understand this certain way of building a business. And then Liz did the same thing. And then she's had so many leaders on her team that have gone out and done the same thing. And I guess really I'm grateful to be on this call right now, because Liz is one of those leaders that took it and really ran with it. And it was cool. When I was writing the book, there were 2 people that I reached out to after I had written the book to, I knew I didn't want a foreword for the book because it just flowed really well. The beginning of the book flowed really well, and I didn't want to add in a foreword, and I did want to add in a sort of an afterword. And I talked with Liz and asked Liz to do that. And it was really it was 2 things. Liz is a really good writer, and I knew she would be able to say the right thing. But deeper than that, it was like we built this together, and we both caught the same philosophy. And deeper than that, we both really embodied it and live it. And just wanted to, this is like the longest introduction ever. That is my way of saying thank you to Liz, and I love her and Michael, and just grateful for who they are in my life. And yeah, that we all kind of just plugged into this, because it's not, at one point, there's always when you do this business right, there's always one point where there's a sponsor, sponsee, or a mentor, mentee, just because one person's been doing it longer than the other person. And you have that relationship. And like, that's how Liz and our relationship started, but it's just grown into so much more than that. And I think that's one of the there's a lot of blessings in this business, and for me, that's been one of the biggest blessings is the friendships that I've gotten, and yeah, that deep family relationship with Liz and Michael. So I wanted to start by saying that, and the next thing that I want to just jump into, can I just go? Can I just like go? And I know if I was on a call like this, I would be like, "Oh, that was sweet," that was nice that he said that about her. And but they're different than me. They're in a different place than me. They've experienced different things than me. And what we talk about and what we think about in this business, like how many of you guys have read or reading the book? I mean, you're on this team, so you don't even need to be reading the book. Like you're getting it on a like that's how your trainings are done. But here's a lot of like what happens is we're going to talk a lot about what it takes to be successful in this business. And the question that I want to address tonight is one of how do we actually find people to do this business? And then how do we actually get them to do something? Would that be of value? Like if we cover that tonight? So that's where I want to go with this. But we really need to start off with, here's the question that we all ask ourselves. We all ask ourselves, do I really have what it takes to be successful in this business? Right? Like if we're really honest with ourselves, each of us, that's what's holding us back. It's not the vital behaviors. It's not the the dailies. It's not the new Beachbody came out with this new checklist. It's not learning the Instagram or Facebook or any of that. The reason that we're not having success in this business is because we don't actually believe and know that we're going to have success in this business. Like that's the reason. And let me just take one step back. If you're new to Beachbody, if you're new to this team, if this is one of your first calls, what I want to talk about tonight is like leadership and building a large organization and reaping the benefits that this amazing opportunity has to offer, right? Like we got involved, or what I got involved for in network marketing and with Beachbody, I wanted it all. I wanted the lifestyle. I wanted the freedom. I wanted the money. I wanted the ability to go burn logs in my backyard on a random Monday because I want to, right? So, and I feel like a lot of us want that. Like we see that, but we say to ourselves that, can I really do that? That might be for those people, but not necessarily for me. Or maybe we're not at that point. Here's what we say. Once that next Instagram training comes out, once I get that one, then everything's going to take off, right? Or I'm just one transformation away from my whole business blowing up. Once I have my full transformation, like then I'm really going to do it. But we have these things that we hinge it on, right? Because the question isn't necessarily, can you do this? The real question is going to be, are you willing to actually put in the work? Because every single person on this call, there's 60 people on. It just changed. There's 59 to 60. So for you that just jumped on, this is for you. Every single person on this call, it's not for the other people. You have everything that you need already to succeed in this business at the highest levels, whatever that means for you. You have it. Like you have that available to you. But we get it our own way. And what I want to talk about tonight and what I want to sort of lay out is, we talked about that one question, how do we actually find people that are going to do this business and how do we get them to work, right? But at the end of that, you're going to be able to answer without a doubt, I know how to do that. Or maybe, let me be a little clearer with that, I know exactly what I need to do and how to find the resources. So we're going to answer that. And the second thing we're going to answer is, it's no longer going to be, can I do this? What the real question is going to be, am I actually willing to put in the work? And here's the deal. The work isn't going to be the how-to. The work is going to be you. The work is going to be inside. The work is going to be you showing up. And write this down. Like, this is the high level of what Beachbody coaching is all about. It's you becoming the brightest, shiniest, sexiest version of yourself from the inside out, sharing that to attract other people and then helping them to do the same. If you do that, and the further you stretch yourself with that, the bigger your business is going to grow. I'm going to jump around, guys. I promise this is all going to make sense at the end. I want to give you guys so this is actually real quick. Can you guys just write down what your current rank is? Like, type it in the thing, and then what your goal is. So what's your current rank and what's the goal that you're pushing for? And I swear to God, I didn't smoke pot before this call. My eyes are so red. I feel like my whole face is swollen too from being in front of a fire all day. Melissa, look at that. All right. Emerald to diamond. Lifetime diamond 5. I love it. Emerald 4-star. Oh my gosh, you guys are like, look at this. 5-star, 7-star. Holy mackerel. All right. I'm going to give you guys the whole enchilada here then. So one of the things, and I'm sure you guys have all heard this, but I just want to make sure that I'm repeating stuff just because we all want to be on the same page. I'm going to give you guys the super abridged version of what I believe, especially for all those people that are saying 5-star, 2-star. Like, if you're saying star diamond or diamond, here's the ranks that I think are important in this business. First rank's emerald. If you're not yet emerald and you're a coach, emerald's strictly a decision. Just make the decision, go sign up 2 people. Emerald, important rank. The next rank that I think is important is 2-star diamond. I think diamond is hustle. Like, if you want to get to diamond, everybody on this call can get there. Diamond's hustle. 2-star diamond, you got to get a few skills though. If you get to 2-star diamond, or to get to 2-star diamond, you have to encourage, you have to inspire, you have to motivate one other person, right? But the reason that 2-star diamond's so important is because you get to open a second business center. So right next to that, put emerald, then 2-star, and a star next to 2-star. 2-star is the most important rank in this whole entire company. Put a star next to it, you get to open a second business center. The next big rank is 5-star diamond coach. And 5-star diamond coach, you don't necessarily make any more money. Nothing changes, except there's an energetic thing that happens with it. It's like all of a sudden you arrive at the land of Oz, and the curtain opens and you get on the round table, and you get to be like, oh my gosh, there's Beachbody celebrity so-and-so, and you get to meet all these people, and all these people that you had never seen before, and there's an energetic thing to it. And it's really, I think that for people that are really looking to build this business, 5-star is like that you've arrived. Here's what we've done different in our team, and we're all kind of collectively on the same team, is you can shoot for 10-star or 15-star if that's your passion, but the biggest thing that you want to be doing at the same time, and even with more intention, is you want to build 5-5-stars underneath you. So 10-star, 15-star, that's all good, but the biggest thing that's going to change your entire life is building 5-5-stars. So I wanted to just give you guys that, because I think if you're, emerald coach, maybe diamond coach, anywhere, wherever you are, that's your 5-year business plan right there. But the 2 biggest things are 2-star diamond, and then those 5-5-stars. Those are the things that or especially those 5 stars, like you're not going to get taught that from corporate, but in Beachbody terminology, that's built to last. Like that's going to give, because it's going to give you depth in your organization. All right. So let's switch gears again. And how do we actually find people to do this business? And then how do we get them to take action? And it's awesome that I'm on this call with Liz because I've used her as an example in this teaching on like 50 calls. Because we just launched the book. So I've been doing a bunch of calls. And here's the outline. It's a 3-step process. The first step is you have to lead yourself. The second step is you have to position yourself as a leader. And then the third step is actually mentoring others. And here's what we all want to know, right? And the reason the reason Liz kept coming up, because like when Liz and I first started getting together, when we first started working together, she would just want to know, okay, what do I need to do to get to Diamond? And that's what we all want to know, right? A 5-star is a better example. Like, just tell me what I need to do. I'm willing to do whatever it is you tell me. Just give me the activities, right? And that's what we all want to know, right? What are the activities? Here's the activities. You talk to a lot of people. You show them the business opportunity. You get them to sign up, and you teach them how to do the same thing. It's literally like, that's it, guys. Then why aren't we all 5-star Diamond and above, right? So write this down. This is like key in our business. The how-to is 5% of the equation. It's not what the deeper piece is, who are you becoming? And let me explain that a little bit more. So I want to be a 5-star Diamond coach. Show me what I need to do. Okay, I can show you what you need to do. But who is the man or who is the woman you need to become to hold the rank long term? Does everybody get that? So that we're in a business, we're in an industry, and honestly, guys, it's the best of both worlds. You are going to get paid as you continue to become a brighter, shinier, better version of yourself. You're going to earn more money in this business. But here's the deal. We don't have the luxury as Beachbody coaches to wallow in our SHIT. We don't. If you're doing that, your business won't grow. Because there's nothing. So we're moving into this leading ourselves piece now, right? So the leading ourselves piece is about us taking an honest look. And this is going to get uncomfortable, this part of the call. Taking an honest look as to what are the things that are holding us back from reaching the levels of success. Because here's what we want to do. We want to do our vital behaviors. We want to do our, that stuff's automatic, guys. Your vital behaviors are just, it's like brushing your teeth. If you're a Beachbody coach, all of that stuff, put it on autopilot. You don't need to be going back and forth. One of the biggest things, write this down. Indecision is going to be one of the biggest things that will steal your dreams. And if you're not all in on your vital behaviors, you know what that is? It's indecision every single day. Should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? And it's not just once, right? Because we've all done it. We've all done it. Oh, I'll put it off. I'll put it off. I'll put it off. I'll put it, like it's an energetic thing, right? But if we make this commitment to go all in on them, write that down, all in, it's easy. I'm telling you, it's easier. It really is. So make that commitment. If you haven't done that yet today, make that commitment. And here's the deal. here, you need to just make the commitment now, though. I want to give you like a little example about this. So I just started doing a live video, a daily live video over on my Facebook page. And in January, I came up with this. So I wrote the book, and I was like, I believe in this book. I really did. Like, I prayed a lot about it. We edited it 14 times because I'm not a natural writer, but I feel that it has value. I feel that it has value, and I set a goal. I want to sell 1 million copies of this book. And so anyways, we January is launch month, and we're getting to the end of launch month, and I was like, I need to like continue the momentum to get the word out there. And I was like, I'm going to start a podcast, a network marketing podcast. I'm very comfortable in podcasting. It's like something that I enjoy doing. So anyways, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. And then I was thinking about how I would do it. And then I realized that because of what this topic is, I'm better off doing a Facebook live show rather than a podcast, because in network marketing, everybody has their team pages on Facebook, right? So if somebody watches an episode, they find value, they can share it in their team page. You guys follow me so far? So this is it's at the end of January. So I'm like, all right, I'll spend February. I'll like get everything set up, and I'll figure out my topics and this and that. And this was on a Sunday night. And then I was just like, SHIT. I was like, I need to just start this tomorrow. And I was like, it's a live video. I've done live videos before. And you know what? It was bad. It was really bad the first day. I didn't have the light. Like, I still don't have the lighting right. Look how bright it is in here. Like, the lighting was off. I started the video by like going up to the thing, and I didn't realize it was on. I was like off tempo with my whole thing. I didn't have an introduction written or anything, but I did it. Because here's the deal. Getting on this call, going to the Beachbody Champions page, listening to the National Wake Up Call, learning the next Instagram thing, learning the next Facebook thing, none of that is growing your business. What grows your business is talking to people. That's what our industry is. And sometimes we hide around the next training, the next this, and that's what I was doing, right? I wasn't going to go live the next day because I was going to spend a month preparing to go live. And we, like, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like, we all do this. So before we can go out there and start finding and attracting other people, we need to be leading ourselves. We need to be showing up every single day. And then we need to take an honest look at what are the things in our lives that are holding us back. Maybe it's that, I don't know, maybe it's self-doubt. Maybe it's fear. Maybe there's all these different things: anxiety, depression, anger, guilt, shame. Like, we all have these different things. I like 2 years ago, Carl Deichler was on our team call, and he was really cool. He was like, we can talk about whatever you want. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. So what I was really digging in for, you guys have all been around Carl Deichler, right? The dude is always on. Like, he's always on, and he's always high level. And I forget what question I asked him, but he said that there's one thing for the last 10 years that he thinks about all day long obsessively. And I was thinking it was going to be something about marketing or this or that. And he started talking about this Eastern Indian guru that he follows. And this guy has a teaching that he calls the snake in the room. Have you guys ever heard this teaching? It was so cool. So Carl starts talking about it, and he said, all day long, what I'm thinking about is the snake in the room. And he said, here's what the snake in the room is. Snakes have poison. Snakes have venom. And what I'm looking out for is that snake that's going to bite me. And he said, that could be fear. That could be doubt. That could be insecurity. That could be a program that didn't work and somebody posted something or an article that got written. Basically, he was like, anything, excuse me, anything that's going to take me out of my game. You guys get what I'm talking about? And he said, here's the deal. Here's what I'm doing all day long. A, I'm very aware and I'm very vigilant. He said, because all of us, like, we go through this and we get these things that attach to us, these poisons, and people aren't even aware that they're walking around with this poison inside of them. And he said, A, I'm very vigilant that I don't get bit by a snake. And then he said, B, if I do get bit, I need to get that poison out of me as fast as possible. And then he got like real serious and he said, you know why a lot of Beachbody coaches are struggling? And this part gets me emotional because this is the real part, guys. He said the reason that so many coaches are struggling is because they got bit, and they may have been bit a ton of times, and it may have been a week, a month, a year, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, when they were a kid, when they were a 13-year-old little girl. And they're walking around with that poison and they're not letting go of it. And they're not shedding it. So leading ourselves is getting the therapist. Leading ourselves is, and it doesn't all come at once, right? But what does happen, here's what leading ourselves comes down to. Do you know how long it takes someone with an addiction to quit? Like that. Because it happens in an instant when they decide. When someone hits rock bottom, that's when it happens, right? So, right, like for us to start leading ourselves, we don't need to know all the answers. We don't need to know, we only need to know the first step. And a lot of it comes down to like, let's stop playing the victim. Let's stop like looking at the excuses and the self-doubts and the insecurities. Let's let go of that toxic relationship. Let's let go of that pattern that we've been holding on to because it's comfortable, that we go back to all the time, right? And I want to just, I could teach about this for an entire weekend, but here's, I think, the simplest way. Everybody kind of get this leading ourselves concept. Like we're understanding it, right? Wayne Dyer teaches that we all have things that we're willing to do. And as Beachbody coaches, right, we all have things that we're willing to do. And we're willing to go pretty far in those things that we're willing to do in this business. He said, take that list of the stuff that you're willing to do and throw it away. It's like, it's way too long. It's way too many things to focus on. Said, write another list, and there's only going to be a couple things on this one. What are the things that you're not willing to do? And he said, you don't have to like tackle these and have them be gone in a second, but can you start chipping away at that list? Because that's a lever, right? Everybody understands how a lever works. If you take those couple of things that you're not willing to do, all those things that you're willing to do, just go with it. But you can focus on those little things. Like, what is it? Is it, and this was like one of the beautiful things, and I talk about it in the book with Liz, like watching her, like public speaking was on that I'm not willing to do that list, right? But then she started it and she did it a little bit and a little bit and a little bit and a little bit. And now she's talking on the biggest stage within Beachbody, right? It didn't go from being terrified of doing it to talking on the biggest stage of Beachbody. It went from little bit, little bit, little bit, little bit, little bit, right? So that's where we need to do. Like, that's where we need to focus on. Step number one, before we can go out there and start mentoring other people and start attracting other people, we need to lead ourselves. And trust me, guys, if you really do this, if you stop wallowing in your SHIT and actually start walking through it, you're going to be irresistible. People are they're not going to be able to not watch you. It's not about the next filter or the next this or the next that. That stuff's cool. But that's like the the final makeup, right? It's almost like that's like taking a movie star and putting the makeup on them in the end. But who is that person? Like, who is the actual movie star, right? So that's what we're talking about, leading ourselves. This next part, I'm just going to kind of breeze through. Positioning yourself as a leader. I'm going to give you guys just how I do this. Super high level. You can totally steal it. You can totally take what you want. Don't feel like, oh my gosh, that's how Keith does it. That's how I have to do it. Just kind of catch the philosophy. Does that make sense? So when I have somebody that comes to me, quick side note, I've been doing this business for 9 years. For the first 5 years, I didn't have a single person come to me through attraction marketing. I hustled and I went out there and I talked to people over and over and over again. Like 4 years ago, I put together a podcast and I put together a blog, and now I get like 2 to 3 people a month that come in through those two different things, the podcast or the blog. So when they come in, they have to fill out an application. The entire purpose of this application is to position me as a leader and as somebody that knows what they're doing and knows where they're going, right? So on the application, it has questions like, are you willing to have a mentor-mentee relationship? Are you willing to see me as a boss for the first 3 months? Are you willing to embark on a personal development plan? Are you willing to allow me to speak truth into your life? So you guys see that, like you see the positioning there, right? Next thing, jump forward. They fill out the application. They get an autoresponder. The autoresponder says, I can't wait to talk to you. I'm super excited. I'm really busy though. I'm a husband and a father of 5 kids. Do me a favor. Here's my personal cell phone number. Shoot me a text message so I know that you just filled out the application. They shoot a text message. We get on the phone. And the gist of the call, the whole entire call, you know, we do a little chit chat, and I want to know their reasons, like what they're excited about, why they want to join as a coach. But then I want to share with them that really what I'm going to do, like how I'm going to mentor them. I let them know that if they run, I run. If they walk, I walk. If they do nothing, I do nothing. I let them know my level of commitment. And then I also let them know that if they're looking for a coach that is going to, I'm not the best guy to teach them challenge groups. I'm not the best guy to teach them all the ingredients with Shakeology, but I am the best guy that is going to teach them how to run a big business and how to be successful in this business. I'm actually going to cut this piece short here, guys. All the how-to with this, if you go to keithcallahan.com/book, there's all the free resources from the book, and it goes through exactly what I do here. You got the gist with the first 2 things though, right? Like I'm positioning myself the whole way because we all want to know, like we have a challenger who comes through a challenge group and then they become a coach, and we want to know how to get that person to do something, right? But it starts way, way, way before that. Here's how leaders look at in Beachbody. I don't think you need to change a single thing that you're doing in your business except for your intent. And the way that I'm looking at it, like if somebody's coming into my challenge group, my intention isn't to just sell them a challenge pack. My intention is to look for somebody that ultimately wants to do this business, right? So I'm running a chat because we're in network marketing. We're not in affiliate marketing. Network marketing is about us giving somebody an experience with a product, bringing them in, and then teaching them how to do what we just did, right? So my intention when I'm talking to somebody right from the beginning is to bring somebody in to ultimately get them to coach. Does everybody follow that part? With your business, treat it like you're the CEO of your business, not like you're a Beachbody coach. A Beachbody coach is on the turn and burn. A Beachbody coach just wants to run that challenge group every single month. And it's not that a CEO doesn't do that, but a CEO is looking for other people to be building a business with them, right? They don't build a business alone. They're looking for other rock stars to build their business with them. So how do we actually get people to do this business? And then how do we get them to take action? We start by leading ourselves. The next thing, we position ourselves. So when you're out there, go and look at all of your social media posts right now. Do you see yourself as a leader? Good question to ask. Would you want to follow you? And not follow you in the sense of like follow you on social media. Follow you in the sense of, wow, something's going on with her. So she's like a little different right now. She's going somewhere and she's going there with or without me. And then we can mentor people. Because here, like what this really comes down to, guys, it's about us. And it's about us showing up every single day. And Craig told me, he's like, everybody gets caught up in all this like mentoring and coaching and all this stuff. And he's like, all you need to do is inspire somebody. He's like, oh, that's all you need to do is just get them inspired and get out of the way. Because here's the deal. You can go through like, how many Success Club points did you hit? Did you do this? Did you do that? Like all of that stuff. Or you can just inspire somebody and they're going to do all of it and more. He used to take a string, like a 12-inch piece of string, and he'd put it on a table and he would say, try to push that string from the back. And he'd say, that's how everybody thinks leadership works. He said, it doesn't work, right? The string just like goes. Like it crumbles on itself. He said, now take that string, stretch it out, put one finger on the end and pull it. And he said, when you set your soul on fire, when you know without a doubt that you're going to the top in Beachbody, that you're going to, everybody put down these 5-star goals, right? 1 star, 2 star, like when you know without a doubt that you're going to do that. And here's the deal. You're going to do it with or without the person that you're talking to. Yeah, you would love for them to come along. You would love for them to be a part of this, but you don't need them because there's other people that you can find if they don't want to go. When you have that energy, when you have that, like, I know where I'm going, that inspires people. How do we find people? It's through inspiring them. How do we get them to take action? It's through inspiring them. A couple quick notes on the actual mentoring. Again, if you go to that that link, keithcallahan.com/book, the step-by-steps that I use for mentoring, it's not rocket science, guys. I mean, it gives you a little outline. But couple notes on mentoring that I think had the biggest impact on my life and like me being mentored. The first one is simply believing in the people that you're working with. Don't see them as they are, see them as they can be. Don't see them, because here's the deal. We all have these wounds. We all have these things that we're carrying around. I gave the thing about Carl Deichler and the poison. We're all walking around with some of that. Some of us got a lot more. Some of us got bit by a lot of rattlesnakes, and we still got to get that out. But don't see people as they are. See them as they can be. And that's what my 2 mentors, so Bob Lucido was my sponsor, and then Craig Holliday I hired him as a mentor. with Beachbody, they saw me not as I was, but as I could be. They believed in me before I could believe in myself. And eventually I came to believe in myself. So that loving, like genuinely loving the people that you work with, and then having the courage to speak truth into their lives. But here's the deal. If you're not leading yourself, you can't speak truth into other people's lives, because you can't do it from a, like, Liz can sit there and she can lovingly say to someone that she's mentoring, I would love to continue to work with you, but until you like walk through this piece, we can't go anywhere. Why don't you like deal with that? And then once you're done dealing with that, we'll continue these calls. Like, that's love. And it's not, and yeah, that person may be mad, but it's true. And we're not doing, like, the people that we're mentoring, we're not doing them any good by just being a cheerleader and not, my mom would say, calling a spade a spade. Like, not, like, what is it? What's really going on? All right, you guys, I want to kind of open it up for questions right now. But before I do, that's how you find people to do this business, and that's how you get them to take action. And the resources are going to be different for each of us. Don't just continue consuming. Start becoming, right? Stop just putting information into your head because it distracts you from life. And start becoming, start proactively creating who you want to be and where you're going. And then, can you do this? No, that's not the question. The real question is, am I willing to actually grow into the person? Am I willing to create the man or the woman? And for some of us, it's just, we're in a different industry. For some of us, we are bright and shiny and beautiful. We just have to figure out how to do it in this industry. All right, guys, I'm going to pause there. Open it up for questions. Liz can chime in, whatever you guys want to do.
Guys, now's the time, because I know that this stuff can feel as exciting as it can feel maybe a little bit of a shock to the system, because it's not the tactical stuff. But you have Keith, so don't be shy. Ask questions. You can either unmute or type in the chat.
I love the question, Anya. So what's the one tactical tip you would give to someone looking to improve their leadership? Huh. It's so tough because I think leadership's very individual. And the way that I view leadership is like, leadership's personal growth to me. And everybody jumps on like, yay, like Build to Last is the new like hot book, right? Here's what personal growth is, guys. What's the thing that you're struggling with? And then find the resources and start growing through that. And like, what's the one tactical tip to improve leadership? Leadership, it always goes to self-improvement, right? Like, so I gave you a couple of high levels: the believing in others before they believe in themselves, speaking truth into their lives, loving them. But what's the piece that you're struggling with right now? What's the thing, what on that Wayne Dyer list of things you don't want to do? the tactical tip is to start doing that. That's going to inspire others, and that's leadership.
Keith, you just got tactical. That was good. I thought that
It's
was
because
really,
I'm like,
I
I
was,
go ahead.
no, I was just going to say, I was like racking my brain, like, I wonder what he'll say for this one, because it's hard to get kind of strategic in such a esoteric kind of topic like leadership.
Yeah.
But I was impressed with that answer because it is something they can like physically address and do, but it still nurtures becoming the person and the leader you want to become to achieve the things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough because we're all taught like, and this was me when I came into this business. I was a hustler. I would outwork anyone. And I remember my first call with Craig Holiday. I told him all about how much I was willing to hustle. I would put in all the work. I would do whatever I needed to take. And I was like on fire. This was our first call. It was supposed to be a half an hour long. It was 15 minutes long. I went through that whole thing. And then he was like, man, I got to end this call a little bit early. He's like, I need you to think about something. He's like, I don't even know. He's like, I don't even know if you're going to be able to be successful in this business. This business is all about helping others and caring about others. And all I heard for the last 15 minutes was all the things that you're willing to do and you're willing to, and this and that. And then he goes, we'll talk next month. And he hung up the phone. But you know, if he didn't do that, I wouldn't be here talking on this call today. I don't even remember why the heck I brought that up, but it was such a, like, it was a huge shift in, it was like, oh wow, that's what this business is about.
And I think there has to be a willingness, like if you're on this call right now and you're feeling that fire of like, okay, I really do want to go to that next level and I want to become that leader. If you really want to be proactive, go to your mentor, you're the person that is however many steps ahead of you, guiding you through this, and give them permission to push you like that. Give them permission to be as real with you as Craig was with Keith, because I can tell you there were plenty of times in my conversations with Keith that I gave him that permission and then held my breath because I knew what was coming was going to be really tough for me. And over the last 6 years of working this business and working with Keith, there have been so many times where his biggest role for me was holding up the mirror. Like where I would come to a call with him expecting him to like somehow fix my problems or give me the tactical stuff or walk me through something or comfort me, and he would hold up the mirror and force me to look within at like, and to take ownership of where I was at and what I needed to work through to get to that next level. So you might, it's like becoming a leader is an exciting thought and it's empowering and you're like, yeah, I want that. I want the rank and I want the growth. And Keith talks about that freedom. I want that freedom thing. But you have to realize, like, to really get to that level, you have to be willing to like drag your own ass through the mud. Like there are some really tough things that you have to face and work through to continue to get to the next level. And I'm talking to the leaders on this call too. We have a lot of coaches who have gotten to these really high ranks and these really high levels, and there are always like these plateaus. Keith, you know how like I've hit them many times where I think like I'm cruising and then I hit this kind of plateau, and it's this realization of like what got me here won't get me there. Okay, now I've gotten to this kind of ceiling in whether it's my business or in my life or in my leadership. Now I have to have some more breakthroughs to get to that next level. So to my leaders on this call, you know, the work is never done if you really want to keep growing in leadership.
gets harder.
Yeah, because every breakthrough requires deeper work.
I think Roseanne had a question. I feel so strongly about this process and truly believe in it. My challengers are all getting great results, and yet none of them want to share the program. It's so frustrating. Any suggestions to inspire these people to get to the next step? I can just add my 2 cents and then Liz can answer too. I think that so a lot of people that I mentor, they get to diamond and then I really start working with, they get to diamond with hustle. Like that's how we get to diamond, right? And we take they got to diamond basically off of customers or discount coaches. And when we want to change that, so Roseanne, you're good at attracting in customers or discount coaches. And I know this is going to be frustrating, but just simply changing the intent behind what you're doing, like change your focus so that your overarching goal is to get working coaches, right? And then have all of your activities, everything that you do, everything that you focus on, be with that end in mind. In the morning, when you wake up, be thinking and do gratitude for the coaches that or the people that you're going to be able to talk to about this business. At night, do that, and then give it 6 months. It's kind of like if whoever's closest to you, right? Your spouse, your mom, your dad, whatever, they buy a new car. And all of a sudden you're out driving and you see that car everywhere, right? Is it because that car is all of a sudden there? No, it's because that's in your awareness now, right? So when you set your intention that you're looking for people who want to build this business, the opportunities and the how-tos going to appear, and it's going to show up as you start doing that. But start with setting the intention. And I really think that I mean, I could give you all these little nuggets, but I'm a big believer in like, what's the big overarching principle that's going to drive the whole entire thing? Like, this is teaching you how to fish versus like catching you a fish. Like, shift your intention to that and then hold it there.
And I would add on to that, Keith, because I think that's so spot on. And I have a really hard time speaking to. I think that's a really good question, Roseanne, and I'm glad you asked it because I think it's something that many people are thinking. And I have a hard time explaining what I'm about to say, so I'm going to try and put my thoughts in actual words. But the first thing I would say is, if you have a feeling of frustration around something, the problem might not be with the people you're dealing with, but your own like emotion around it. Because it's the same thing as when people say like, no one wants to buy a challenge back from me because they think it's too expensive. Like, if you can speak that phrase, you're harboring a thought or an emotion that is hindering you from like a positive belief. So like, yes, it is literally frustrating when people won't see the potential, but if you didn't have that frustration and instead you believed so wholeheartedly in the fact that you will find your people and those people will get it and they will run with you, and you just kept plowing forward knowing that truth, and not even like, it's almost like you can't even focus your energy on the frustration of the people that just aren't entertaining it. You grow through that and you start attracting your people. And that's probably a frustrating answer because that's something Keith would have said to me like 4 years ago that I would have been annoyed with, but then I would have sat in what he said and it would have made sense to me a day later. So hopefully that made sense. And the second thing I would say is, and only you can answer this, and anyone that's asking that same question as you, only you can answer this, is, are you running the challenge groups, recruiting the challengers, focusing on getting them the results and doing the things? Or are you becoming the person that attracts the people that want to follow you and be led by you and become a leader with you? Like, only you can answer where you're putting your energy. Like, are you focused on trying to find challengers who want to work the business, or are you focused on becoming a leader, which will ultimately attract those people that you're looking for? So that wasn't so much directed at you, Roseanne, as it was pretty much anyone that's asking any kind of question like that. And that might have made no sense to anyone. In my sleep-deprived brain, that made perfect sense. So hopefully you can glean something from it.
Totally makes sense.
Okay, good. I haven't totally lost it yet, then. Any other questions? Keith, this is so awesome to have you do a call like this, because it brings me like right back to the beginning. And I feel like I need to be brought back to the beginning over and over and over again, because even though you do different things when you get to different levels in the business, you run different trainings, you speak on calls, you get to speak on stage, you push for different ranks, the fundamentals are the fundamentals. Like, you can be a brand new coach or a 15-star diamond, you're still looking, the best thing you can be doing is lead yourself. Like, those steps Keith taught us from day one or day 10,000 is what we need to be doing. So when we have a call like this, it reminds me that I gotta just stay in that truth of like, I have to keep growing myself and becoming the person that is able to achieve the goals and everything. And that's how you taught me, and that's what I love. And it grounds me in a very calming way. I get out of like the crazy of like, oh my God, am I running enough challenge groups? Is my Instagram doing this? Is my, like, I get back to like, this is the long game, and I have a big vision for this that goes far beyond my goals for 2019.
Can I ask one favor, Liz?
Always, although I'm a little scared.
No, it's a selfish favor. If you guys have read the book, and if you're willing, we are trying to get over 100 reviews on Amazon. We're at like 91 right now, or at least yesterday we were. So if you're willing, if you could leave an honest review on Amazon, like even right after you get off the call, like you don't need to plan it out, that would be really awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, this book is going to make such a huge, or it is making such a huge impact. And it's awesome to, so many times, like, people will ask me, well, how did Keith teach you that? And I'm like, I don't know how to put it into words, and now you've done it for me.
Yeah. Well, that's why I did it, because people would ask me and I'd be like, I don't know how I do it. Yeah. It's been cool too, because it's been really eye-opening. Like, a lot of people that I thought would never in a million years like find value in it have found value in it. So it's been cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm really proud of you for doing it. And it's that same, like, you're still doing the whole like inspire people, and that's one way of leading them. So you're definitely doing it for that book. And
Thank you.
Always grateful for you and your friendship and Amy, and just your leadership in more than just this business, for sure. As a learning how to be a better parent, a better spouse, stronger in my faith, you've served me in ways far beyond coaching. So
thank you. Oh, I love you guys. I forgot to tell you guys, you said better parent. So on top of all the crazy stuff, we have 5 kids that have been puking over the last 2 days.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's going on right now.
That's a nightmare. Nightmare. Yeah, I can't complain to Keith about kid chaos because he has me trumped by 2 kids.
You just get numb.
That's the key. Well, I am appreciative of all of you guys that hopped on this call tonight too. This recording, I'll share this recording the next day or so you guys can bring it to your teams or rewatch it and pull some notes from it and stuff again. And Keith, you're the man. Thank you so much for your time, and we love having you on. And I'm sure we'll be begging you to come back soon. So,
Bye, guys. Thank you.
okay, have a good night, everybody.